So what if I told you next time you eat a hot dog, you might be eating a part of a rat as well? Today, I'll try to persuade you to drastically reduce the amount of hot dogs you consume in your life. Ever since I was a young kid, I've always loved stuffing my face full of hot dogs without ever thinking about the consequences. That was before I found out what they really were, and today I've stopped eating them altogether. So first, I'll talk about the health hazards and problems associated with hot dogs. Then, I'll outline some possible solutions you can take to reduce the amount of hot dogs you consume while maintaining a healthier lifestyle. And lastly, I'll talk about how lowering your consumption of processed meat can help benefit your life in the future. So now, let me start off by talking about the health problems associated with hot dogs. In a recent article called "What's the Beef with Meat?" published by the Harvard Medical School, it states that eating too much processed meat, such as hot dogs, can increase your chances of getting cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. These same studies show that eating too much processed meat can actually lead to premature death. So you might be thinking to yourself, they're just hot dogs, why are they so dangerous? Well, I'm glad you asked. The reason why hot dogs are so dangerous is because of what's inside them. According to Stephen Cantor's article, The Decline and Fall of the American Hot Dog, he states that the average sausage contains animal parts such as intestines, esophagi, ears, lips, and snout, all mixed into the meat. On top of this, hot dogs have additives and chemicals. Without these preservatives, hot dogs would lose their pink color and become the color of unwashed sneakers. But the worst part is when he goes on to state that it's not unusual for insect parts and rodent hairs to accidentally get into the meat. So if this doesn't sound very appetizing, don't worry, it gets much worse. According to the article I mentioned before by the Harvard Medical School, it states that hot dogs are very high in sodium. Sodium increases your blood pressure, which adds additional strain on your heart and kidneys. On top of this, it's also very high in cholesterol and is dripping with saturated fat, both of which can cause cancer and lead to heart disease and increases your chances of getting a heart attack. Lastly, hot dogs are filled with nitrates and other preservatives, which has been linked to cancer. So, as you can see, hot dogs won't be winning any health awards anytime soon. So I just talked about the health hazards associated with hot dogs. Now let me continue by outlining the possible steps you can take to decrease the amount of hot dogs you eat while maintaining a healthier lifestyle. So the solution is moderation and a healthier lifestyle, like more exercise. You don't have to cut out meat entirely from your diet and turn into a vegetarian. Instead, according to the Harvard Medical School article, all you really have to do is just gradually reduce the amount of processed meat you consume. In fact, switching to healthier types of meat, such as fresh chicken or fresh fish, can decrease your chances of premature death by up to 17%. So there are plenty of other alternatives that are healthier than hot dogs. For example, grilled chicken or salmon, pasta, or even Subway are all better alternatives. Small choices like these that you make will help ensure a healthier you in the future. Another article called "Healthy Weight," published by the Center for Disease Control, it states that it's okay to eat hot dogs once in a while, but just be sure you balance it out with healthier foods such as fruits and vegetables and plenty of exercise. So it's okay to eat junk food from time to time, just don't make it a part of your meal every single day. And if you're the type of person that doesn't like to exercise, just walking 15 minutes every day is enough to ensure that you stay fit. So I just talked about the health hazards associated with hot dogs and some possible solutions you can take to help you decrease the amount of hot dogs you consume. Now, let me talk about the benefits that this reduced meat diet can have on your life. So, drastically decreasing the amount of processed meat you consume now will greatly increase the chances you won't have to deal with major medical problems in the future. In other words, you'll live a longer, healthier life if you choose to take care of your body now. Imagine yourself 30 years from now, and you're stuck in a hospital, going through rounds of chemotherapy, watching your body deteriorate in front of you as you battle through cancer. I don't know about you, but that's not exactly on my bucket list. And after all, if you're not spending your time, energy, and most importantly, your money dealing with these medical issues, you'll have more opportunities to spend them on more rewarding things. Things such as your family, a nice vacation, or maybe a couple of Super Bowl tickets. So now let me conclude. I first talked about the dangers of hot dogs, then I outlined some possible solutions you can take, and lastly, I talked about how lowering your consumption of hot dogs can benefit you in the long run. So I encourage you all to get serious about what you put inside your body. So the next time you're craving a hot dog or a burger for the third consecutive day in a row, think to yourself, what would I look like 10 years from now if I keep on doing this? If you don't like what you see, maybe it's time to head to the nearest Whole Foods and grab a salad. Thank you.